Hello.
Hi.
You have forgotten who you are. Whatever.
You have forgotten that line of dialogue.
I have.
Welcome to Drawing Conclusions. I'm Jessica.
I'm Josh.
And today we are reviewing the 2019 The Lion King from Disney.
Disney.
Yes.
Yippers.
Another quote-unquote live-action remake, although it's not really live-action when it's all CGI, is it? Anyway, of a Disney animated classic. Josh...
Of the same name.
Yes. Josh, what did you think of this movie?
First, the positives. I think the overall look of the movie was really quite pretty. Showing off Africa and all its, grandeur. I mean, it was really beautifully done. The animators should be commended. I mean, everything looks so convincing.
Yeah.
And I think, it was a real technical feat. I mean, it was very beautiful to look at.
Yeah. One thing that I paid attention to definitely more in this version of the movie than the animated version was the variety of African landscapes that are shown throughout the movie. And that was really, they were really beautifully captured and rendered.
Performances, most of them were fine. I particularly liked... Fine. It's not a great thing, but it's something. I particularly liked Keegan-Michael Key, Billy Eichner, and even like Seth Rogen a little bit. But I think mostly for me the best was probably Billy Eichner. I think he did the overall best and really stepped it up in a way that this movie needed desperately, but unfortunately was in short supply, which was added life.
Yeah.
Anyway,
right.
How about you?
No, I agree. I mean, here's the thing about the voice acting. Normally, when you're doing voice acting, you're either being turned into a truly, animated character where they're going to be doing things
to your face,
with
your
eyes,
face,
that maybe mimic the faces that you were making in the booth when you recorded the sound, right? When you did the vocals.
Sure, hand gestures, body language, all of it.
So that's part of the performance is what's happening with the face and the bodies. And the problem with doing this live action stuff with animals that are supposed to be more like real animals is you lose half of the performance because you're relying completely on the vocals instead of really what's happening with the facial expressions or gestures or anything like that.
For sure. I think that they really went overboard with these things looking real. I mean, it was too real, and that was unfortunate. I think it worked against it because the life and character expressions of the original animated movie are just lost.
Yeah.
They're just not there, and it sucks.
Right. I agree. I think it really took a lot of the life and the charm out of the movie, and then another thing is, like, even though for the most part the movie is almost a completely faithful recreation of the original animated movie, which is, I mean, that's not giving anything away, right? I mean, there are no spoilers in this movie. People have all seen The Lion King, right?
If you haven't seen it, then I don't know what to tell you. There's
very little that's new here, and yet it still somehow manages to be 30 minutes longer than the original movie. And so, like, I felt like they stretched things. Like, they really did pad it. Things moved slower. It was like the same stuff that you'd seen before, but it just moved at a slower pace. Except then when they trimmed something, it was something that made no sense to trim. And it actually, I think, detracted from the overall story and character development.
Yes.
But I agree that Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen were really good. Their dialogue was the most different. Well, them and the hyenas.
Yes.
That was the most different from... Those were the characters that deviated the most from the original animated movie.
Yep.
And in both cases, but particularly with Timon and Pumbaa, where they were allowed to... Well, you felt like maybe they were ad-libbing some of that stuff.
Yeah, they kind of riffing off each other.
Right.
And it was funny.
That really helped the movie and helped move it along and helped bring something extra to it that was special and fun and funny and brought some life into it. Again, with the hyenas and Timon and Pumbaa.
Right. It brought some surprise.
And that was about it. I mean, really, there was almost no heart and soul to this movie. It felt really lifeless, like you said. Mm-hmm. So it was really
It's hard to watch.
It was boring.
It was. It was hard to watch.
Yeah. So between the pace, which I just don't even get, like I don't understand what they did. It was like, okay, so I'm old. So like when you had a record player, and like you just slowed down the RPM or whatever on RPMs. It a little bit. And it's like it was still the song, but it was slower and it was just not quite right.
Yeah.
There's just something not quite right about this version of The Lion King. It was just too slow.
Yeah.
Anything else about it?
Yeah, the original, which they ported over to this thing, musically is one of the better Disney films, music-wise.
Right.
And they managed to whip the life out of that stuff, too.
Yeah, it was so weird. I mean, Billy Eichner does a great job in his singing role. I thought Donald Glover did a great job, too, actually.
Yeah, he was very... okay, that's one more I have to add in there. Donald Glover was good as adult Simba.
Yeah, he was. He was really good.
And James Earl Jones is just awesome because he's James Earl Jones and he's has
But
that
they
part
cut
down.
out some of my favorite lines of of Mufasa's from the original movie.
They did, and I don't know why they did that. They cut out a lot of stuff, like you said before, they cut out a lot of stuff that didn't need to be cut. Right. And they added stuff that didn't add to the movie.
Right.
Which is weird. Addition by subtraction. No!
Subtraction by addition is what it was.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They added it, but it really subtracted from the movie? Okay.
Detraction from addition to subtraction? I don't know. We're getting in the weeds. Go on, I'm sorry.
The music, again, was kind of disappointing, which is weird because the soundtrack to The Lion King is actually awesome. It's great music.
Didn't that win awards way back when?
Yeah, oh, yeah, tons. And I used to listen to it all the time back in the day. When this movie first came out, I listened to that soundtrack a lot. And I really enjoy the music, but somehow, again, yes, you're right. Even there, somehow it felt less than it was. Not all of it, but for a lot of it, felt somehow less than it was in the original. And I said this on the podcast, but I'm going to say it again. Beyonce Knowles Carter, who has an amazing voice and is an amazing talent, added unnecessary runs to Can You Feel the Love Tonight that for me completely annoyed me and kind of took me out of the movie because it was like, instead of being, hey, here's Nala singing this song and I'm trying to convey what she's feeling in this moment, it was, I'm Beyonce Knowles Carter, look at how fantastic of a singer I am and what I can do with my voice. And I do not like it when singers do that when they are playing. You're there to play a character, not to be Beyonce. So just, keep it together. Do what serves the character in the story, not what serves your, ego. Okay, there, I said it.
Boom.
Everybody can leave me nasty comments about my diss on Beyonce.
There you go. Well, I actually also felt the score, just the overall soundtrack, it really got in the way of the dialogue. Because they'd ramp it up while someone's talking, and it was kind of like, what are they saying?
Yeah.
To me, it just...
Like the balance was off between the dialogue.
Right. It seemed like the dialogue was really weak, and the music was getting a lot of the volume. And I don't know if that was the theater that we were in. I don't think so, because I've seen movies there before.
But it could have been.
Right, but... Whatever it was, I just didn't think that was very helpful either. I don't know, all in all, I would say this movie was pretty disappointing. How about you?
Yeah, I agree. I do have to say that I really enjoyed looking at the cute lion cubs early on in the movie. Super enjoyable to look at those cute faces.
Oh,
really,
yeah.
Really well rendered, beautiful fake lion cub faces. I mean, they're just really cute. Mm-hmm. And lions are really beautiful. And in terms of capturing the beauty of the animals, of all of the animals in the show, yes, the artists who did the CGI are to be commended. It's a beautiful job. But in terms of them being actual characters and conveying emotion and humor, intensity, drama, whatever, it just doesn't work.
No.
The end. That's all there is to it. That's all she wrote.
Yep.
Okay, Josh, tell us about this picture that you... Oh, wait. Do you want to give me a rating for this movie? What rating would you give this on a scale of 1 to 5?
I would give this a 2.
Ooh, rough.
2 roars. Maybe a stomach gurgling.
2 roars and a stomach gurgling?
Yeah.
That sounds...
Or maybe a stomach gurgling. I'm hungry. Let me go eat something. This is boring.
All right, so tell us about this picture that you did for The Lion King.
This is pastel pencil on pastel paper. Lots of p. So I did the adult Simba head on top and in full color, and then the young lion cub Simba on the bottom in kind of starry night sky looking blue. And using orange and blue as complements to one another, and just kind of like, Simba's has like this dark, sad past of his father dying and him feeling like he's responsible and, and moving forward. So kind of like a dark past, bright future sort of thing.
Interesting.
So,
well, it's very beautiful.
Thank you.
I think, again, lion faces. Look at this picture. Gorgeous. Anyway, so that's it for our review. Make sure you hit that notification bell, ding ding, so that you are alerted every time we have a new video. Josh, what else should they do at this point?
Subscribe if you have not already. Like this video.
Yes.
Share it with your friends.
Yes.
As well as comment. We love to hear you, especially your hate on her comment for Beyonce. We'll love to hear from that.
No,
Also,
I don't hate Beyonce.
No, your hate on Beyonce's singing. I apologize. I need to clarify. I kid.
So you should check us out on Patreon. There you can hear our podcast and get some other exclusive content and also pick up some rewards for being a patron.
Yes.
All right. Thanks.